back.
We're locked and loaded.
We're back. We're back. Welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by reminding you to reach out to Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. Save a life for 9. You can find them on my website, jacobv.com. Yeah. The only way to support this show financially is jacobv.com. You'll find patreon.com/jacobv. And we have exclusive content there. I'm making more of that content tonight at the Platypus with the Kits Row. Working on new music with them, working on new music with No Antics. There's a new vinyl 10-inch EP coming out with Blind by Stereo this summer. Lots of new versions of things from me on the Patreon. If you're there, keep up with that. I believe Joseph is here. Finally, we're rolling. You know we're on a tight schedule this evening. I got you all set up over here, you rat bastard.
Oh, shit.
Come on in. Come on in.
The shovel?
Come on in.
Come right over here?
Come on in.
Right here?
Yeah, this is you. And then
Yo.
make yourself at home. You're actually perfect timing. We tried to start earlier.
On camera?
And we couldn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then, to make yourself comfortable here, you can make that, you can lower that probably if you want.
Did you play Kanye's new song?
Yeah, we were listening to the instrumental is on Spotify now. Bah, bah, bah. And I don't know what timeline we're living in, but I feel like in the last couple weeks it just got weirder. Is your phone charged?
Yeah, what's
Can
up?
you open my show notes on your phone?
100%.
And things are just really strange, and it started when they shot Harambe, and then nothing's really been normal since, but it recently got specifically a lot weirder, just kind of in general. So I went and I watched Interstellar again.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good
Because here's the thing,
indicator.
the deep state will feed the entertainment industry certain things, and it's been going on. I mean, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, real ufologists were in on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, can you open the show notes on your phone?
Right now,
I don't understand.
I'm doing right now.
Is it a brand new phone? Did you just open that phone when you walked in here?
Yeah,
You have to download Google Chrome?
That'd be so funny if I pull out an iPhone box,
We're doing an iPhone unboxing. Joe can't help out with the show at all until we unbox this iPhone.
Okay, here we go.
But Interstellar, it was like, love and gravity, and I don't really know.
I don't know about love. I don't know about gravity.
Here we go.
Gravity.
Gotta praise Jesus.
Gotta praise Jesus. That's the only way to sing it. We just got hit by a tornado yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was at work, and the tornado happened in between where I work and where I live.
You've had a crazy couple days.
I've had a crazy week.
Yeah.
And and then I decided the best way to get home yesterday was to drive exactly where the tornado touched down. So I saw everything.
Did it take you a long time to get home? Trying to get through all that?
How dare you ask me that?
It
took me a long time to get home.
I don't know. My girlfriend was getting her nails done in the Central West End and had to go down to the basement when it came through. And
Yeah, I had
power.
to move all the kids into a room with no windows, so we went to the art room.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I went back to my library because I can take a little glass.
Can you give me the same inflection that you gave them as far as?
I had all my Spanish-speaking students.
Okay.
So I start with, usually by the time I see them, it's Buenos tardes.
Uh-huh.
And then I said, art room! I said, boys, Buenos tardes, art room, we gotta get away from the windows! Get away from the windows right now! And it's 1 p.m. on a beautiful Friday, and it's pitch black outside, and I come out of my library, and one of my little boys is in the window like this.
No.
Trying to see the tornado. And I'm like, didn't you hear me say art room? Get away from the windows? What's window in Spanish?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
That's 100% a true story. It's not even the craziest part of my week.
Yeah.
Not even the craziest part.
Oh my God. And really crazy, 21 deaths across the region.
Oh, wow.
5 locally.
Window.
And it came through
that just
just
says window?
after. It came through just...
Ventana.
What?
Ventana.
Okay, I've moved on. You let that Spanish-speaking demon in your phone talk to me one more time when I'm trying to move on.
Yeah.
There's just glass just broken out of everything on Union between Del Mar and like Page.
Yeah, a lot of glass.
And there was a car in the middle of the street, and I thought it was parked there. But I realized the windows were not rolled down. Every piece of glass on the car was smashed out by just the wind. And I'm thinking maybe the car got picked up and dropped. Because that's kind of what it looked like. 'Cause it was like
That's crazy.
perpendicular to the road in the middle. Like
Would you say that the tornado looted the South City?
Okay, so this is what's crazy too. Is immediately after I get home and everything's calmed down. I think it's crazy. Trees are falling on buildings and whatnot. Then we get to like evening, and I'm like, there's a curfew starting at 9 p.m. for the area because none of the businesses in range of the tornado had windows.
Yeah, I mean,
And that was already becoming a problem before it was even dark out.
Yeah.
There was just because, especially, much of that area still doesn't have power.
I have one thing to say about natural disaster looting. Though.
You're picking him up on two,
the
okay? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
the all like hip hop like started because of a blackout that everybody
is
went and
such a
looted.
great-
It's such a crazy story. Like they
Because-
all and like looted for NPCs, and it's actually like a
I don't
great
even know if
story.
it was NPC. It was like, but they had to DJ like outside.
And then after that, everybody started dropping tracks. It's like the coolest story ever. They all went and stole Akai NPCs
Because of a
because of
historical
a
blackout in the Bronx or something?
Yeah, it literally can be traced back to that one day, and then all these artists are blowing up. Isn't that a cool thing?
Can you pull up an article about that?
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
If it's from Nick Fuentes, I'm going to get very upset. Can I see this for a second?
Yeah.
I do need my show notes. And then they just tore down Telena's,
Yes.
like the morning of the tornado.
Oh,
And
Why
the
not just
tornado
move it into
the tornado hit
path?
like right. I guess they don't. But here's the other thing. I don't think that a tornado's going to hit, but I would have wanted to save some money on the demolition. Mm-hmm. And then also,
that's smart as fuck. See,
just
that's
hit it
why
with a
Jake
tornado.
does my taxes.
But did you see the? And we're both getting audited. And
yeah, I got audited super bad.
I
this
sent
year.
Joe this. Outlaw, some guy on Facebook calls himself Outlaw. He said they try to knock all them houses down in the city and move y'all to the county, so they sent the tornado through.
Yeah, that was
Damn.
awesome. That was great. Show the. We can show him the picture and post.
Yeah, I have this picture.
was a
We'll
great
put it
picture.
in post. And then, so I don't know that I'm all the way there yet with that one.
It was crazy seeing the footage of like that
This street
that
seemed fine.
apartment that
Sorry.
just like was obliterated. You see that? Just like that. It was like a
in the center,
top
all the
floor.
trash was in the foyer area. I
Yeah.
saw this. This was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
like imploded.
But I was driving down here. There's nothing in the streets. Everything looked great over here. I
No,
don't
that's
understand.
why everyone's upset, because it was all north at Delmar.
That's so fucked up.
Because it was the Illuminati.
That's so fucking racist, dude.
it was
Racist ass tornado.
It was the ghost of
Rothschild.
that Shafley lady.
Oh shit, that's right.
Phyllis.
That is what.
Phyllis.
It was a demon. The
That is.
footage is crazy though. It looks fake.
The
Like,
demon's name is Phyllis.
because you have like the weather traffic people that have the cameras pointed across Forest Park, and they see the thing coming down. And it looks totally like it could be from a movie. It was so
yeah,
like-
no, it was unreal.
And then it was gone. It was sunny by the time I left work.
Oh yeah, it was
The
so
sun
fast.
popped right back out.
So fast.
I was grateful.
You know, and it's tough because that area has not gotten a lot of tornadoes. I don't know when the last time that area had a tornado.
Not
if
lately.
it's ever had a tornado, but a typical Midwestern response is to go look out those windows.
Yeah, I go check out the
You
tornado.
know,
I go
and
right into the
so-
About the
center.
hip hop thing you were talking about.
Sure,
You can have
sure.
that.
And then all of a sudden you have all this footage of people being like, "Oh shit, I'll just eat a salad," and now
Yeah.
I have no windows.
No windows.
no windows.
That's the craziest thing, especially if you rent even if you got a good landlord, you're not excited about the whole building needing new windows. What are the chances that that's going to happen? What do you do?
I saw this clip of this guy who was lifted up by the tornado. It was like,
I want to get lifted by a tornado.
Real
bro.
like cowboy.
That's so badass.
Type of like reporting, because it was this guy that was just like live on Facebook, like, hey, this guy Chuck here just got lifted up by the tornado.
That's awesome.
Chuck, tell us about how that went down. And he was like, I was just driving down the street and then a tornado was coming, and so I was just trying to get people into houses and stuff. Like people were running and then I just didn't get into the house. I just got lifted up by the tornado, and the fire chief or whatever said he probably was lifted and moved like 500 feet, and it wasn't like,
was he okay?
Mostly, I think he had some like bleeding, some like road rash type of stuff.
I wonder how he landed okay. That's the hard part.
That's
like,
awesome. You land smoothly after a tornado pickup.
A lot of tornadoes leave behind like flesh-eating bacteria.
They displace.
What the fuck?
They displace grime basically from underground and from like riverbanks and stuff, and they'll slop a bunch of goop all over the place because they completely uproot germs out of plants and trees and animals and whatnot, and just spew them all over. It's a real problem. Is that what you were saying?
That is what I was saying.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
I just recently watched a documentary on the Joplin tornado, and there was this guy who
was a zombie story.
So I was just about to say that's where this is going.
Yeah, it's
we
a
need
zombie
tornado
story.
zombies.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This gives Sharknado a whole new plot.
Sharknado with
zombie
HPV.
shit. Yeah.
Not just from Eric Roberts.
But the crazy part was like all of like the uprooting of the trees was crazy, like whole slabs of just like earth with like a huge like
there's
with the
more
roots.
than one video I saw of people filming the tornado out of their window, and then they see part of the roof of the building they're in get ripped off.
Yeah.
And that's I'm not for that.
I'm totally not for that.
I'm not for that.
Yeah. Not a part of my campaign.
It's not what I'm here for. A couple other things we should knock out. Joe and I were referencing a song that's really polarizing the internet right now that we can't even mention by name.
It's by Hall & Oates.
It's by, I wish it was Hall & Oates.
By George Jones.
I wish it was George Jensen or Hall & Oates.
That'd be
but
awesome. Bee Gees new
one
release.
Local tie-in to this is there's a video that's going viral of two young Caucasian individuals driving around singing the new song by Kanye West, which is inappropriate for them to be singing, being two petite Caucasians in a Honda. And
petite's definitely the word.
It's kind of blown up, but people know these people because one of them is disgraced, exiled singer-songwriter Mike Lassiter, who got outed as a Proud Boy. Outed by himself, I guess. He outed himself as a Proud Boy back when that was a new thing.
Yeah.
And then next time I see him again, he's singing the Kanye West song in a Honda Accord on TikTok. So now they have a GoFundMe because they want to move.
Oh, of course.
Because people are mad at them.
Yeah, they did. They started. Yeah, that was hilarious.
I just went to witness protection.
You can't make an anti-Semitic and racist viral video if you don't have money in the bank.
They opened up a GoFundMe.
You want to talk shit and upset people, you got to have money.
People will pay for that though. They'll protect their own.
Oh, I'm sure they're fine. This is actually probably a real boost for them.
Yeah.
They look like they hate making money.
It ruined it. Never mind.
And
about to say it ruined the song. But
I don't think that's possible. But
yeah.
I honestly don't even know this song.
Kanye West has a new song called N-Word Heil Hitler.
Yeah. I don't know if we're allowed to even say Hitler.
I'm going to bleep all of that out.
You thinking the N-word.
No, right.
That's a joke.
I don't even like to talk about it.
That's your.
But
I don't see it on Spotify.
It's not on.
It's not on Spotify.
It's like clearly not going to be able to be on Spotify.
It's like you have to listen to it on Twitter.
Is it on SoundCloud?
You can probably find it on SoundCloud. But now the instrumental.
No, it's on Instagram.
The instrumental is on Spotify.
It's on
now.
Spotify. Yeah, so you can listen to the instrumental,
which is great. The instrumental is beautiful. It's a real waste.
We could play it right now.
There's a lot of don't do it. And I already have to do so much bleeping. Just to even tell people what we're talking about.
You need to bleep the N-word even though you didn't say it.
Oh no,
you
I'm
have
bleeping
to.
the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm gonna hold the beat button down manually. And but the problem with that for me is that there's also the issue of the Diddy trial started this week, and it's been salacious, and we don't have video or whatever like we did in the OJ trial because it's a federal trial and they typically don't allow news cameras. So we get the New Yorker style doodles a lot. However, the kind of things that we have to talk about on the news is just impossibly vulgar and disgusting and psychotic.
It's going to be bad. Yeah.
And it's not just that trial. There's local news that I can't talk about that's salacious and disgusting.
What? Oh, yes.
You go, what? What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
What do you?
I apologize.
What could he be talking about?
I'm so sorry.
There's the.
Can I report on it?
No,
Okay.
the number one song in the country, I can't even mention by name, and the Diddy trial, even to use the most polite language, just the things you have to describe
the
to catch
baby
people
oil,
up on
I mean,
what's
just-
come out, it makes
God.
the OJ trial look like they could have done it on Teletubbies. They could have done OJ every Sunday morning on Teletubbies compared to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And it goes back to how I feel, about the timeline shift that we're in. Can I see the show notes for a sec?
Yes, sir.
Because I went to college with a girl named Chloe, who has reemerged on
I love that
TikTok
bitch.
as an interdimensional channel and Akashic Records reader. And
Has she not been on the podcast?
No, she's from Nashville. I don't know where she lives. She recently had a meeting in the interdimensional realm with Nostradamus, who explained to her that the United States is going to collapse and that our neighbors to the north would be in custody of us for a while we rebuilt in smaller, less concentrated
That's
communities.
exciting.
And she also said Nostradamus was very arrogant and misogynistic towards her.
That's what I love about Jake is like if somebody starts saying something like this, Jake will just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like you'll be like
No, this
fully
is all good
engaged.
data for me to have.
You'll
I
be
have to
fully.
have-
You're like okay, so they're gonna send us where?
And so here's the thing. What I do is I consume all this stuff all day. I've been following all the new UAP whistleblower stuff, like Matthew Brown, the 3-part series on Weaponized with Jeremy Corbell and that old guy. And then I listen to stuff like this. This girl I know from college who meditates and then has a meeting. She's guided to have a meeting with Nostradamus, and then she doesn't like him. That's my favorite thing, is those kind of details. Like, I have a friend who is from New York. He went to public school in Hell's Kitchen in the 80s, and he's, like, a really cool dude. And but he used to live in Brooklyn, right next door to Erykah Badu. But here's the part that I love.
I don't know Erykah Badu.
Erykah Badu?
Who is that? Lucius?
It's an R&B singer.
Yeah. You would
from
know if you saw her.
the
She had a tiny
90s.
desk. She has a baby with Andre 3000.
Yes, I'm
She's
here.
Yeah,
great.
you know the song "Bad
And we're
Lady."
live.
Oh,
Yeah.
A bag lady.
Yeah, that's a good song. I love that song.
What's your favorite song?
She was
That
on Dave Chappelle's Block Party, which is one of my favorite things of all time because it's like a concert. It's like hip hop, but with the roots, with like everything's done with a live band.
yeah.
And this was like 20 years old now.
Yeah.
She's in that, and she's great. And but here's the thing about my friend that lived next door to her is he told me that, and then immediately told me, "Yeah, I really can't stand her." I'm like, I was trying to talk to him about some stuff I was listening to. He's like, "Oh, Erykah Badu, yeah, I don't like her." I was like, "You don't like her music?" He said, "No, she used to be my neighbor. She's a pain in the ass."
That's awesome.
And then you remember this happened to Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz got sued by neighbors for repeatedly clogging his toilets.
That's awesome.
That's a real story, I think.
Wait.
That's one of those things that gets lost in childhood, like you don't know what you can't put down the toilet, that kind of thing.
Lenny
that sounds-
Kravitz is still doing that?
Yeah, well, sometimes that happens with kids. Like you'll see a grown man.
With
You
Lenny
see it in
Kravitz?
sports. Well, you see it in sports. You'll see like some coach like eating his boogers. You'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The World Cup is always crazy because the
Yeah.
coaches around the world are not necessarily prepared for television the same way the coaches in the U.S.
That's
might be.
true. I've always said that.
And so there was the one guy, it was like Germany maybe, and he would smell his fingers all the
Smell
time.
his fingers
he would
after,
rub
like-
his fingers on different parts of his head and then smell them.
They did a collage. They did. We gotta pull up that collage.
It was what he would do when he was.
It's hilarious.
You could pull it up on the Mac.
It's
I left
fucked.
you a Google tab if you want it.
It's fucked up.
No pressure. But that he would like scratch parts of his head.
He would
and then smell them.
he would like stick his hands in his pants and then smell his hand.
But he would like obsessively smell the tips of his
It was
fingers
crazy.
while they were playing. It was
Oh my
distracting.
God.
I was like, I can't watch this game.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put in Germans. I put soccer, but that's not right.
German
No,
German
soccer,
football coach smells
sniffer. Don't actually use
hands.
that word.
Smells hands.
Smells
Smelling himself. Smelling.
Smell like.
Smells hands. Germany coach Joachim Lau.
That's an
Joachim.
appropriate
Joachim?
name. Yeah, that's an appropriate name. You know.
He's yoking him.
Sniffs his balls and ass.
I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Oh, it is. It's bad. It's pretty.
Yeah, after adjusting himself. Dude,
Yeah,
that's
it's
fucking
pretty
funny.
bad. It's pretty gross.
That is.
dude.
It's the only thing that comes up.
Lucius,
So-
go ahead.
So hold on. So speaking on this topic, we might be in a timeline where things are going to be kind of crazy.
Okay. Might.
One psychic told me that we're in the storm before the calm, that we're about to elevate and things are going to be fine.
Oh, that's
but
exciting.
it's really crazy
You know,
right now.
I want to believe that. And
I fucking hope so.
I do think so, because I think that my best case scenario is that Trump is setting such a terrible example that he's just going to like ostracize every single person around him.
Yeah.
Until he's just like everybody's number one.
There will be a
enemy.
correction.
Yeah, there's going
I
to be a
agree.
correction. And I also think disclosure of the extraterrestrial issue, I mean, that's what people know it as.
Yeah.
It's not really that.
Aliens.
Right. That I think that's also going to challenge the status quo with the government that's kind of in power right now. Like it seems like a large part of our national debt directly correlates with numbers of money that's been invested illegally into secret elitist deep state projects like bases underground and
Or
recreating
Israel.
alien vehicles.
Or the Middle East.
Or yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about it more with the military industrial complex and how it, you know, we just reset governments in other countries for no reason because we want their lithium ions. But also that this whole problem with fossil fuels is redundant and stupid, and that Matthew Brown said this. He said, "You are not free. You have not been allowed to understand the full complexity of our reality, and God is real." That's how he signed off his 3-hour series with
God,
Jeremy
that is so
Corbell.
good.
So Matthew Brown is a Pentagon insider who is whistleblowing the UAP issue because he's the guy that wrote the
What is,
Immaculate Constellation
UAP?
report, which is the first time that Congress was ever actually told that there's a whole secret black budget government UAP project.
What is UAP?
UFOs.
Okay. I know what that is.
And my thing is, I think all the higher beings referenced in history are actual beings, and society weaned us off of a faith-based system and onto a science-based system because the truth is a mix of the two.
That is so well put.
We talk on this show all the time about how we used to be a faith-based economy and how certain aspects of society made a lot more sense, and that's completely collapsed over the last 50 or 60 years. But maybe that's because we assumed for thousands of years that the mythological or the divine is something that we can't actually interact with or witness.
I do love how science, like, people are unaware of how subjective science is. People are just like sitting, like, dude, go through studies. Like, anytime you want to find a hard conclusion on a study, you can find 7 other research studies that literally contradict. Like, it's crazy. So, like, science is such a great basis for an unsteady, you know, moral compass, you know, because it's so subjective. And I've always said that.
You have always said that. You've always said it exactly that way.
Yeah.
Also, Jeremy Corbell seems to think that they're going to lie to us in 2027 and say that there's an alien mothership approaching the Earth, but actually the aliens are already here. Largely, I think a lot of it's interdimensional, which is why I watched Interstellar again the other
Such a
day.
good movie.
And hints at this topic. Also, Matthew Brown explains that we sort of live in the Matrix, and not in the way that we're like plugged into computers physically,
Yeah.
but that everything. And if you think about it, it makes some sense. that everything that we're allowed to know is absolutely that. It's as much as we're allowed to know.
Exactly.
And there's actually a lot more to reality that we're not necessarily allowed to interact with or develop as, and whatnot. However, some of this I get nervous about. Because if I find out the Earth is flat,
oh my God.
after all the shit I talked about, all those people that said the Earth is flat, I better not. I better not.
I mean, how are they still... There's so much proof. It's like...
Well, there's a glass dome around it, so
it's
the way it
firmament.
Works...
You didn't listen to 607 Unk?
No, I did not.
On the blue couch?
I did not.
It's
Okay,
a firmament,
so-
man.
Okay.
It's a firmament. We live in a firmament. We live in a firmament. And so 607 Unk thinks that... See, this is also... I get variety on the issue. I get a white guy from the Pentagon who's going into hiding because they're going to kill his whole family because he's telling you about a document he read on a secret computer. And then I also listen to 607 Unk.
Jake's algorithm should be monetized. People should pay to flip through Jake's algorithm. I'm not kidding.
Turn on your TV and it's my Instagram Reels algorithm because it's this kind of stuff.
No, it's great.
Real UFO stuff, and it's a schizophrenic rapper guy.
It's awesome.
And
but going to your Christian
says
shit
that the real source, creator, higher being of the universe is called Abraxas, and that he had a partner, like a bride, you could think of it as, and then they had a son, and then that son is the god of our ancient texts. And that it also kind of connects to, some people think a lot of the stories in the Old Testament, when they were talking to God, they were actually probably talking to Lucifer. And
a snake.
Yeah. And so and in the New Testament, that's meant to really teach you how to yearn for discernment, right? Which is important. But 607 Unk says we live in a firmament. It's a glass dome, and
Yo, that guy we were watching the other day.
yeah,
He's also a flat earther.
yeah, and that it's an ice wall, and that we've been exiled here with limited science, and that the higher beings just live on a circular globe with us, but beyond the ice wall.
This guy is crazy. So like,
It's not just him though.
He's on, what is so disturbing about it is that they've appropriated the tone and the cadence of like an actual Christian platform, and they sit on there and they so he uses that, like, that youth pastor kind of whisper talk that is kind of like, when I was out there. And like that whole thing, but he's talking about insanity. Like here's
There's one guy that does this that we've talked about, Micah Turbo or Turnbow, that he talks about. He's the guy that told me about how creation is a realm in God's heart, and Christ existed there before humanity was ever created, and that the war in heaven was really fought over all of the stuff that then happened later that was a part of God's plan and whatnot. But now, that maybe there's quantifiable scientific evidence of some of these beings we maybe would have used to have referred to as
aliens,
angels or demons or whatnot. And maybe the Galactic Federation of Light, headed by Lord Ashtar, is the light of Lucifer.
Oh my god.
Maybe that.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's why the elites are always into space and the occult.
Well, it is a little bit strange that, like to me, with how vast our universe is, it's actually absurd that we haven't made public contact with life. Like, that's like, if you want to talk about, that's actually the wildest part of existence right now, is that we haven't met other beings we are the only living things that we know of right now. I know they've released, like, Clinton said that UFOs are from it, like Clinton has confirmed that, but actually the fact that it's never been publicized is crazy. It's really absurd.
Yeah, and and this is the other thing that gets into your algorithm when you start doing this kind of work like I'm doing.
Yeah, this work.
And this work that I'm doing in my free time that I'm putting in is also that there's a number of beings. There's a guy who testified to Congress recently, probably since the last time we did an episode, an older guy, testified under oath in front of Congress that there's at least 4 what we would think of as species of extraterrestrial
I've heard about this.
beings that that we're interacting with. And again, I don't think they're just 3D physical things like us that have to travel through space-time to get to places and whatnot. Also, apparently, there's plenty of other objects, planet-like objects in our solar system than we think about.
I love that guy will only interact with people that are as sincere as he is. And so it's so like that the guy we're talking about, what's his name?
Which one? The seer, the guy that...
Yeah, the seer.
Yeah, Micah Turnbow.
Turnbow, yeah. He's so smart with his, like,
he wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah, he will only, like, he'll never go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He'll only interact with people that are as sincere about it as he is.
It has to be a really gentle environment.
It is so, like, intense. You're just like, wow.
I would love to have him down here, though, because I would love to ask him what my guardian angels look like.
Yeah.
He can see him.
That is so
and
funny.
then I feel like I have to just sit you down in front of 607 Unk for a couple hours.
I think so.
Dude,
I
it's
think
crazy.
I need to be enlightened.
So this is what you got to do. You got to take all this information in, just so that you know what to do if it ever becomes relevant.
Yeah, and also UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena.
Yeah, and there's also
Thank you.
Unidentified submersible, because they've witnessed these UAPs going underwater, and I think they probably are mostly underwater.
I would love to.
I think that's why we don't know more about the ocean.
I would love to accomplish. Apparently, this type of technology, the assumption is that if the UFOs that we've seen are real, then that means that these alien beings have accomplished the Einstein-Rosen bridge. I think that would be an incredible technological advancement for humankind.
This is the big thing that Dr. Stephen Greer and Luis Elizondo and these kind of people are advocating for, is that we have 0-point energy technology in secret.
God.
That we've reverse engineered from guidance
aliens.
or from reclaiming
That's how we got the pyramids.
non-human intelligent technology. And that's just a problem.
Yeah.
Problem.
Well, I
don't want to have to buy the Enron egg.
I don't want to
nuclear
have
power
to buy
reactor.
the Enron.
I don't want to buy the Enron egg. I don't want to buy the Enron egg. We talked about that on this show. There's a kid who bought the license to Enron, and he's selling nuclear reactors for your living room
That's awesome.
that are shaped like eggs.
Eggs.
Did you guys see the raccoon with the meth pipe?
No.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, guys. Are you guys just not on your phones all week, and then you come here and I have to tell you what I saw on my phone?
Yes.
Cops recorded, there was a raccoon in a lady's car who was being stopped by the police, and he was like chewing on her meth pipe.
That's awesome.
It's right there in the show notes.
Okay.
And
That's so great.
and
They're
the
always-
cops like dying laughing. I've been watching Cops all morning with the baby. Keenan wanted to take a long shower, and Cops was on YouTube, and I have premium, so there's
Dude,
no ads.
girls love watching Cops.
Well, Keenan was in the shower. I was watching Cops.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's
with my infant.
Why do you like that show?
I grew up watching it with my aunt and my mom, so you're not
There you
wrong.
go. Yeah, like women love watching people get busted.
Did you find the raccoon?
Yeah, I'm afraid to click on the video on the Mac, so I'm going to do it on my phone.
Enron egg.
I don't want to buy the Enron egg. That sounds like Meatloaf for some reason.
Oh,
He
Lord.
died of COVID.
No, he didn't.
he
Did he really?
Meatloaf died of COVID after
I know
being
he
so
died.
anti-vax.
Oh, that's
So this old-ass lady's like, there's a raccoon in my car.
For you. We got 15 minutes. We can fuck around for a minute.
Oh yeah, we're doing good. I gotta go straight to Platypus after this. Though. I loaded everything but the Moog. into
Oh,
my
that's
car.
exciting.
Yeah.
You got a show tonight?
Yeah, with the Kits Row. I thought you were coming with me.
I think I am. I got nothing else going on.
I mean, what else are you doing?
Nothing
We can get
else.
chicken. We can get cauliflower.
Oh,
I like to
yeah.
fill up on the cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts at Platypus because then I
Badass.
get the toots on stage. I'll be playing keyboard later, just crop dusting everybody.
I love that patch you were using. That was awesome.
Bro, that's the horns were crazy. You're doing horns, and I'm just.
I don't know why that's so funny.
It's so funny.
That's
It's
hilarious.
so funny. My favorite crop dust is if you're like proctoring a test. You have like 30 people in rows in complete silence.
We have a server at my job that I'll call her Tori to save her name, and people
That's a
will
good
go,
practice.
Like girls go up to her and you go, Tori, you're an alpha male, and Tori always recommends people go fart on. How about you just go fart on them?
Yeah, you gotta
She
assert
always
dominance.
That's so funny.
I read an article, meaning I saw a headline that someone had taken a screenshot of on Instagram, that if humans were to go extinct, octopus could inherit the Earth.
Interesting.
They could become the first or the next advanced civilization.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're so smart right now.
Yeah, just like if, it's sort of like there's also, see, they do this.
Depends on how many predators they
The
have.
deep state puts this shit in films for you to piece together. They give you little clues. There's this part that I've been seeing on TikTok, a clip from one of the Resident Evil movies, and it's like the CEO of the Umbrella Corporation saying, we end the world in a way that leaves the world and its natural resources intact, but gets rid of most of the human population. Right? I also watched Homeland or Homestead on Hulu, where about the president gets assassinated in the underground bunker that all the elites move into after a nuclear war. And then there's a lady who was in the Bush administration, very credible lady, who's been out on the internet talking about they've spent $20 trillion on underground bases that the public doesn't know about and that Congress didn't approve of.
The amount of fucking money, like it's
Have you heard
hilarious.
about all the underground shit?
It's actually hilarious.
No.
all
There's
of
people
our
living
tax
in tunnels
dollars-
under Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, I have heard that.
There's 1,500 people living under Las Vegas.
1,500?
Yes. And apparently in Los Angeles, there's secret tunnels that one percenters use, and they have Starbucks.
What?
Yes, there's a guy who did an interview.
Kennedy talks about this.
Yeah, Kennedy is hilarious. I can't
love
believe
him.
she's still around.
Yeah.
That Jerry Seinfeld doesn't sit in traffic on the 405 because he's in the Oprah tunnel.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome that the conspiracy is just that they're dodging traffic.
And at one point,
Yeah,
Elon
I know
Musk
those
was
don't-
talking about building tunnels under Los Angeles to help with the traffic, and then that never went anywhere. And I bet you it's because they were like, "Hey, whoa, we have those. What
We have this. What are you doing? You could never
Just fucking go to the Starbucks."
bypass. Yeah. I know that those don't
Why are you doing
exist.
that?
I know that those don't exist because Taylor Swift is still doing 1 mile jet flights across LA to
Listen,
get to the other. To
if-
literally
if I had
to
my-
get Starbucks.
Do you remember Austin Powers' plane?
Yeah.
If I had my own plane and it was dialed in perfect, I'm not taking Jerry Seinfeld's Starbucks tunnel. I'm taking my personal plane. I want it to
Yeah.
be where I am.
Yeah.
And they need to work on the PJ needs to have propellers that pop out so you can land straight down. PJ's private jet.
yeah.
Propellers are what's on a helicopter.
Okay.
Because that's the only real thing holding people back is that Taylor Swift would land her plane on top of the building she's going to if she could.
If she could.
It's so insane. Like, and
So
you
if
can
she
tell,
had like a pelican from Helldivers, you
Yeah.
played Helldivers too.
yeah,
the
Helldivers
pelican
too. Yeah, 100%.
vehicle that you extract with.
Yeah.
They wobble. The propeller, the jets wobble so that you can point them back and go real fast forward to get out of there, and then you can stop on a dime and hover down. Right. That's what Taylor Swift needs.
Yeah.
We need a pelican from Helldivers 2 that's twice as long and gold.
I believe that Taylor Swift is like ethical about a lot of things until it comes to that jet.
Well, it's the same as
I bet
Everybody
you, when
has
it
their
comes to that
vices.
jet, Yeah, I bet you when it comes to that jet,
for some people,
she's
it's
just
It's jets.
it's jets.
Some people, it's time. It's time for.
she's a demon. She won't let me speak on her.
That's true.
But I
That
got to
is
get
true.
this off my heart. For some people, it's literally jet fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if I had a PJ that I could land on my house,
Yeah.
brother, fuck what they talk about.
Yeah.
I'm selling both the chrome Maybachs.
Yeah. don't mention the crime.
Oh, chrome Maybach.
Yeah.
And I can sing that part of the song. It's literally about his matching chrome Mercedes.
Well, I'm trying to virtue signal people, and I go, she likes to ride in a Rari, and then I look around. She likes to ride in a Rari, and I look around at people.
It's just such a crazy time to be alive. And what I do is I make sure that I can be and I can sit at peace with my Lord Jesus every day.
Amen.
Amen.
Nobody outside of the podcast seems to be into the flavored Eucharist. I'm getting a lot of pushback. People are like, why do you keep
The
bringing that
flaming
up?
hot Eucharist.
Well,
I think that's hilarious.
We also talked about doing a sour grape wine flavored Eucharist.
Yes.
What if
I think it
was
should
like
be carbonated. I've been saying it should be carbonated for years.
What if it was like it had a gooey filling, like a Pop-Tart, where it was the body and the blood in one
Like a
chewy,
fucking
Thank
uncrustable.
God.
exploding morsel?
Yes, with a little frosting.
Uncrustable.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
an uncrustable.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
that's the funniest thing I've
Because-
ever heard. Unchristable.
This is a huge thing. Apparently, people have been talking about since you and I talked about. You always had the blood in the cup,
Yeah, blood in the cup.
blood in one cup.
Wait,
Oh
what?
no! Well, in my church there was 2 additional ushers or people that
Acolytes,
acolytes that had blood in cups too. There were 3,
3 cups.
but if it's a busy day, probably 5 cups.
5 cups.
Yeah, because Methodists and like a lot of those places, they would do the individual little disposable cups.
Yeah, which is crazy. How can
Which
you?
is sacrilege. It's an assault.
How can you become one through a fucking paper cup?
Yeah.
If you're not drinking out of the same goddamn cup
see
that
the show
the other
notes.
200 people are drinking out of.
Hard pivot.
Well, I accidentally closed it. It's right here, bro.
You closed it.
It was
Have you ever been to an A&W fast food restaurant?
Yes.
Where?
Oh,
There's one off Elm Street in St. Charles.
Yeah.
And there was also
Was
one
it
off
good? What do they
John
have? Do they have like
They
the
had-
root beer burger?
What do they have a root beer burger? Well, who are
Why do I
you?
sound like? I don't sound like
What do they
that.
have a root beer
That's not what I
burger?
sound like.
They have burgers, hot dogs, fries.
You turned into Will Ferrell's Harry Carey for a minute. What do they have a root beer burger?
I love that character.
Yeah.
What do they have? That's what he said.
What do they have? That's exactly how you said it. So there's 4 locally. There's 10 in our region. They have fried.
I'm going there today.
They have fried cheese curds,
Oh shit.
burgers, fries, chicken tenders, hot dogs, corn dog nuggets, waffle fries.
Waffle fries.
That's the thing, is that they have the waffle fries.
But they're
Which, because if you're an anti-Chick-fil-A
seasoned.
person like me, it's hard to get waffle
they
fries.
are different, but they're like seasoned.
They have onion rings. They have a papa sauce and a spicy papa sauce. So that's their signature sauce that they've come up with. Shakes and floats, of course. Occasionally, they'll partner with Long John Silver's, where you'll see it'll be A&W/Long John Silver's.
Oh, interesting.
Which is fine.
Oh, yeah, like the buildings.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's a Taco Bell Pizza Hut,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess that makes sense because it's not that much harder to run that. Bridgeton used to have a location, but it's now a Five Guys.
Fuck that restaurant. Fucking
Where are the other
$35
ones?
burgers.
St. Charles, Arnold, farther out like that.
Yeah. Nothing around here.
And I've been really enjoying that guitar since I've had
It's
it back.
fucking lit,
It's
bro.
a really. This
I
is a
love this
1987 American Strat Plus with the lace sensor gold pickups, and just beautiful. The new Pope is from Chicago.
He's got, okay, here's my thing about that Pope. He's from Chicago. He's got this Argentinian accent.
He
I think
served
it's
in
fake.
St. Louis for a time in the 70s.
I think his accent's fucking fake. I think it's a trendy thing that they.
He's like
all the
Hilario
popes-
Baldwin.
Yeah.
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 Eladia.
Yeah. Like I think all the popes in Vatican City, it's probably like popular to have like a Spanish accent or whatever. And he's like, and I think he just pulled up because there's this
He
video of
served
this.
in Peru for a long time.
Yeah, but there's this video of this girl that like fucked him while he was in high school, and he was
Yeah.
in Chicago. He's a
No,
fake
that was a
accent.
fake. Are you talking about
The
the
girl's mom?
The girl's mom.
Girl's mom.
That's fake?
That was fake.
Yeah.
I believed it.
That was.
In the comments, it's like this is.
It looks so real.
The person who does those videos, that's what she does. She does fake
She makes it
prank
look like
videos.
fake.
Yeah,
Well, that sucks.
yeah.
I was really hoping he banged that girl's mom when he was 19.
Yeah, that was. I love that
I was-
story.
You have to be
That
a
was great
virgin.
story.
You have to be a virgin?
To be
What?
the Pope,
He's not a fucking virgin.
you have to be a virgin to be
He's
a
a
priest,
liar.
don't you?
No, you have to take a vow of celibacy once it starts.
Yeah,
He's ejaculated. I promise.
He's definitely ejaculated.
yeah. I mean, is that considered?
I'm going to say this on this show
Virginity?
officially. The Pope has definitely ejaculated.
I
Maybe
second that.
recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think Do you think the first thing he did when he got?
Don't. Go ahead.
Okay.
But make sure it's not what it could be.
The first thing he did when he got into the new hotel room at the Vatican is he like jerked off. I feel like that's.
No, because he had
I
to wear
wouldn't do that.
too many layers.
Oh yeah, that is true.
It's like wedding day stuff. It's like it's too many clothes. And
Yeah.
they're like, can we put a pin in this?
Guys, I need 5 minutes before we go out into the balcony.
No, because
Just
somebody
give me
had to help
20
him
minutes.
get dressed too.
That is
so,
yeah.
and he's an older guy, so he could wait.
Okay.
I don't think he's pitching a tent. which is when you pop a boner that can be seen through your clothing.
They're close. yeah.
what was the name on that again?
Pitching a tent.
Pitching a tent. Yes, classic.
Funniest analogy Jake ever did was shucking corn. I love that one.
What about shucking corn?
You're like, I bet that girl's good at shucking corn.
I think I was
He was
really
talking about his wife though.
I think I was talking about corn.
Oh.
Corn.
I'm not shucking my own corn.
It's corn.
So if I identify that somebody can shuck corn, there's just a lot of tragedy in the news. A kid died at a local daycare yesterday.
That's terrible. That's not funny.
Local photographer Matt Close tragically passed away this week, and it's been kind of a nightmare on social media because delusional bipolar narcissists really enjoy local music scenes.
That is true.
And so you end up kind of accidentally befriending people who end up being a total nightmare. And then those people will like make fun of you your whole life, and then you die, and then those people go on Facebook and like start shit. It's been happening all week. It's really upsetting. But I had hired Matt several times to shoot video and photos of No Antics, and really sweet guy.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times with my friend Joseph from
yeah,
Stoker.
and it's really tragic.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what happened. I don't know if we want to discuss that.
no,
on
and I
air.
don't know officially either, so it's
Yeah.
not my place to speculate. But I
Right.
just send that on up, and
Incredibly sad.
incredibly sad.
It's rough.
And then a local family is suing the police because their son was shot and killed while running from police after stealing a car. He was 18, but the lawsuit says he had a disassembled firearm with a compromised, several compromised pieces, and was not capable of being discharged. Now, this is why I wanted to talk about this.
I'm capable of being discharged.
You don't know the gun's broke
Okay.
when he pulls it out.
That is true.
And I'm sure that's what they're going to find.
Wait. So
here's what happened. The kid stole a car.
Right.
He's getting chased by police. He runs out of the car. He has a gun. The police shoot him. He's deceased.
Dead.
It then is determined that the gun he had could not have fired even if he wanted it to, because it was broken.
That's an after the fact technicality.
That's the thing. Because even
Yeah.
if it was
It's
a
like
toy
saying-
gun that looked real enough, you can't have any kind of gun in front of the police.
It's like saying, well, he couldn't have run. His shoes weren't tied. You know, they're saying that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
You can't even have a knife in front of the police.
Yeah.
I hate fuck. Yeah. I hate
Joe hates that he can't have his knife out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all that to say, you gotta, self-care is really important. And there's been a local arrest in the news that's really distracting for me.
He's trying to...
And that I can't talk about.
Why can't you talk about it?
Because I still work there. And so it would be inappropriate. But you should look it up.
Yeah.
If you're this far into the episode and you don't know why I'm so distracted this week, maybe you should look up just people that maybe have been arrested this week that also have jobs. And you'll stumble upon, if you see somebody that had a job a couple weeks ago and is now in jail, I might have also worked with that person, and the whole thing is just crazy. It's a nightmare, and we'll do a segment on it for Patreon. Stay tuned on the Patreon tonight. I'm going to be working on some new content for the Patreon with Kits Row. We have new content up there. I had new posts every day this week because Relics is almost done, and we're releasing at least a few versions. Joe plays all the acoustic guitars on Relics, and so... that's going to be fun. I think the 12-string is going to make the cut for the official full version, too.
Oh, thank God. I love that guitar.
It's so beautiful. It's great. And Patreon right now, though. And then, like I mentioned at the top of the show, new music from everybody coming this summer. Kits Row, Blinded by Stereo, No Antics. Lucius is breaking into the jingle biz. If you need a jingle...
Oh, shit. You're jingling it
I'm
up, bro?
jingling.
Lucius is jingling. And
I'm jingling.
I'm jingling, bruh. And patreon.com/JacobV, CaddyshackIL.org, Save a Life for 9, JacobV.com. You can also see pictures of my precious perfect baby on JacobV.com. There's a button called The Pickle, and that's where you can see. I just updated that this week, added some fresh ones to it. Anybody else got anything?
It'd be so funny if we got so much traction because everybody wanted to see your baby.
Oh, listen, I'm totally okay with it. If you only hit the website because you want to see the baby, that's okay. The clicks all count.
It's badass.
Alrighty, we gotta go. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.